what we're going to do is we're going to create a legacy patch to honor the Lady Vols. And in 2016-17 season, all the teams, women teams, except basketball, will wear that legacy patch. In the future, they'll have the option to choose that legacy patch to be worn. That legacy patch will also have a Lady Vols logo on it. And so we hope that this move by the university will, first of all, consolidate our whole university around the Power T, but also recognize the legacy of the Lady Vols.
What would you have to say to all the people who are upset that this maybe wasn't enough?
Well, I think if you talk to the coaches and to the players that are here, they're very excited about what we're doing. They're proud to wear the Power T. This whole campus has gone to the Power T as its symbol for the university. And so I think I would say, look at the products we have, talk to the students that are here. We are really doing the right thing for the students. Our coaches are 100% behind it, and that's what I would say to them.
Chancellor, did you get input from the coaches and from the student athletes before going in this direction?
We did not.
This statement says that after this season, each student athlete will have the option of wearing the patch in our uniform. Is that only for student athletes who are on campus now, or let's say a freshman next year? Somebody who's a senior in high school now and comes.
No,
in
that
next
would be
year.
any student, any woman, any of the women student athletes that were here would have the option to wear that patch.
So even future
Yeah,
student
even future.
athletes.
But this is really a patch to recognize the history and the legacy of the Lady Vols and what they've accomplished here at the University of Tennessee.
But any female student athlete can kind of intuitively can wear this.
That's great.
Where did the input come from that led to this decision?
Well, we had conversations in the last few days between me and Vice Chancellor Hart, and that's where the primary input came from.
So did this idea arise after the legislation was filed, or was it before? Was it before the legislation had come?
The legislation had been filed for some time, and this discussion took place in the last few days.
And it actually started back in the summer. There was conversation.
Conversations actually started in the summer. Very good point.
Do you still think it was the right decision to get rid of the Lady Vols name for all teams except basketball?
I do. I think it brings unity to our athletic program. I think it helps us in recruitment. It provides a much better atmosphere for all students. And as I meet with student athletes or eat at Smokies and see all the camaraderie they have as student athletes, I think it's definitely the right decision.
How much cheaper is this option than actually? How much cheaper is the patch rather than going back to everyone having Lady Vols?
I don't have any idea about the cost.
But it's your understanding the legislation's being dropped now, and it doesn't say that necessarily anywhere in the statement. I assume that this is
I think the legislature needs to speak for themselves. I'm just telling you where we are today.
Okay.
What were some other options that were considered in terms of a compromise? Was this kind of the thing that you guys centered on quickly, or what else did you guys kind of
This
look
is
at?
the only thing that we've discussed recently, and this is the thing that we thought was the best for our student athletes, best for the university, and the best way to move forward.
Were you surprised with the reaction initially of those that opposed doing away with Lady Vols and all except basketball, or did you anticipate that?
I think we always anticipate very passionate fans being concerned. And I think if you look at our current student athletes, I think they're real pleased the way we are. And I think they will continue to, we continue to recruit great students to the University of Tennessee, both athletically and academically. And I think this move to the Power T is very important for the whole university.
Do you think that doing away with Lady Vols in all sports except basketball, do you think that has had any impact on recruiting in other sports?
I do not. It might be positive recruitment, but not negative recruitment.
I just want to make sure I have the timetable right. You and Dave Hart came up with this idea in the last few days, and then today you let the student athletes and the coaches know this is what you were going to do.
That is correct.
Okay.
When do you guys expect to have the patch put together, I guess? I mean, do you have somebody designing it? I mean,
We'll start that fairly soon. I don't know what the timetable is, but we will have it done by August.
And you said it's going to be an individual decision per player, not per team, right?
No, on the first year,
The first year it's going to be everybody, but after that,
2017, we're all going to have it on our uniforms. All the women are going to have it except women's basketball.
Right.
Because they are the Lady Vols.
and after that, it's going to be an individual decision per player, not per team.
Yes.
Okay.
Any idea how big the patch will
Don't have any idea about the fact.
be? You're not designing.
Relatively small.
But this year's spring sports, I take it then won't be effective until.
Will not be
next spring.
affected. Spring
Okay.
sports will not be affected.
Chance, why now? I mean, I'm sorry I walked in a little bit late, I apologize, but why now after all the public discussion, debate that's been taking place for the last year and a half?
We would like to put this whole issue behind us, and we think this will do that. And this is the right time to do it.
How important was it for future legislation stuff that you get this out of the legislation's hands and get this thing off the books, where it's not discussed in the state legislature?
We've got so many things this year in the legislature that this is not one of the issues they need to be discussing, and hopefully they will. Hopefully we can now focus on other things.
Obviously, I assume you do not have what the patch is.
No,
gonna
don't
look
have
like
any
yet.
idea
That's
about
gonna
that.
be
Don't have any
down the
idea
road.
about that.
Chancellor, is it disappointing that it's been such a big deal in the legislature and it's become an issue there off of your campus and not just being able to be handled locally on your campus?
Well, we have not only a campus, but we have a system president and a board of trustees, and that's the governing body for the University of Tennessee system and for our campus. And so we just need to move forward and focus on other things other than that issue.
In terms of objections that you've heard from this, over the past year or however long it's been since this move was made, what's resonated with you in terms of people that have provided counter arguments for why Lady Vols shouldn't have been gotten rid of? Which of those arguments have kind of resonated with you?
Shouldn't have got.
Yeah, people who say just like, which of the people who have sort of been against this decision have?
I really believe for the best future of the University of Tennessee Knoxville, our entire campus, and for the athletic program, that the power T is the thing that we ought to use as a symbol that represents us. Because when you put the power T on, everybody knows where you are. I was in China a couple of years ago. When you had the power T on, they said Tennessee, and so that helps us promote the university. And we've had an external group come in and look at us and talk to us about branding, how we can brand ourselves, how we can communicate better to in-state students about the University of Tennessee and out-of-state students, international students. And 5 years ago or so, they said the power T is the most recognized symbol for the university. Why aren't you using the power T now? And we finally did that about a year and a half ago, and Margie Nichols was instrumental in getting that done. And I think if you look at our campus and see the new signs we got with the power T on it, people know where you are. If you go to our new student union and look and see the orange and the white and the power T, people say, this is Tennessee. And so we want to use that to represent not only this campus, but the entire campus, that is the athletic program as well. And so that's the argument I use, that we want to have one united brand. At the same time, Pat Summitt did so much for athletics that we said at the very beginning, we're not going to do away with the Lady Vols, the logo, and the Lady Vols name for the basketball team. And they're going to maintain that.
This statement says there'll be all women's teams next year, then any female student athlete from here on. If any men's team wanted to, or any male student athlete wanted to have that patch, would they have that option, or is that?
They would not. The only thing we're talking about is women athletes. Yes.
Chancellor, there'll be a lot of people who have been an advocate for the return of the logo, claim a victory over the men's athletic, over the athletics department, and over the director of athletics, Dave Hart. How would you respond to that, and where would you put Dave Hart with this and trying to put this to bed, that it's not them versus him, so to speak?
We ought to be one Tennessee all the way, with all of our fans and all of our supporters and all of our athletes and all of our students. This is a great university. We got great athletic programs, and we all need to get behind all of us and push us forward and continue to push us forward and focus on the big picture.